When the earth starts to settle, God throws a stone at it. And believe me, he's winding up.
So, I guess there's things going on. India and Pakistan are fucking goofy as shit. Like, I will say this. I don't know why. And like, this isn't like a real thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't something that I actually use to judge people. It's just a thought that happens whenever this happens, right? It doesn't mean anything. It's just where my mind goes to immediately in this scenario, right? I generally find Indian people to be very, like, unintentionally funny. I just think, like, with Bollywood, like, dude, there's just... Indian people are very funny people. Like, you know, most Indian people in Western, you know, TV and movies are generally the comedic role. You know, like, I think Indian people are just very funny people. And all of the Indian people that I've ever met in my life, which is quite a few, they're all just funny. Like, they're just funny people to me. Like, I don't know. It's not like I don't take them seriously. It's not like a disrespectful way. It's not like I think they're a joke or anything like that. It's just Indian people are very funny to me. I can't explain it to you, but it's always got like a comedic undertone. And the fucking crazy shit that is going on between India and Pakistan, it's fucking lunacy. Like, dude, the Pakistani guys pretty much declared that he's won because they broke some ceasefire. Like, yeah, so we won. And it's like, okay. Dude, but Pakistani people are like, look, Western people, this is what's really going on. And then Indian people are like, look, Western people, this is what's really going on. And it's like, oh my god. Like, dude. And it's so goofy. So, you know, my days of thinking the Indian people are just kind of funny, they're certainly coming to a middle. But yeah, like, I don't know, it like that's going on. But do I really? Is that really? I mean, that's pretty much it. That's the video. What, we're 2 minutes in. You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy shit going on with it. Like, I can't even. It's so goofy. Because they're going by Twitter for pretty much everything. The Pakistani people are going by Twitter for like everything. So if Twitter says that the Pakistani Liberation Army or whatever the fuck it's called took down 5 Indian jets, then they go, look, see, we took down 5 Indian jets. It's on Twitter. Like, dude, they're showing like video game fucking footage. Like, oh my god, it's wild ass shit. But it's all just kind of funny. But it is a fucking war. Like, people are out there dying and shit. So it's not really that funny. It's not like funny, haha. It's more funny. What the fuck? Like, it's crazy. So, yeah, like, there you go. That's pretty much it. That's the video on that. So, that's going on. And Trump signed a thing today to reduce drug prices by, like, 50, 90%. Like, just crazy numbers. And I'm like, well, that's cool. You know, like, I don't really take a whole lot of drugs, but someday I probably will. So, you know, that's going to be awesome. And I know people that take a lot of drugs, and that'll be great for them, you know, like. But yeah, so we'll see what happens there. I don't really entirely know what's going to happen there, because that I mean, there's a lot of in and outs to that, man. Like, so we'll see how that goes. The time will just kind of tell on that one. But hey, in the interim, that'll be fucking nice. And yeah, that's pretty much that on that. Like, I don't really have much else to say on that. So, you know, like, there's things going on, but so I'm gonna go with a comment that I got today. It's nothing bad. It's a good comment. Tonto Gringo. Tonto Gringo said, You should research, if you weren't following it, and do a video about how Gamergate caused an unintended unifying of hardcore gamers, conservatives, libertarians, and actual, not politically liberal, but by actual definition, liberals. And I would like to actually talk about that because, as you mentioned it, back in the day, when the Ego Cast, this channel, was me and Dennis just sitting at a card table with a couple of, with a laptop. Dennis had a laptop, and I had my little iPad, and we would just look through the news and talk about news. And that was the fucking show. We would just record ourselves. At first, there was no video. It was just audio. It was just a radio show. Just straight up, just radio show podcast, right? And I took hours and hours. For the first video, I put up a picture. Like I did a little slideshow as we talked through the whole thing. Fucking took me forever to do it. Because the first show was like an hour and a half, 2 hours long. We would just sit and talk for hours and hours and hours. And we did a bit in the B block about Anita Sarkeesian and Gamergate, right? And we thought it was hysterical because they're talking about how there's no strong women in gaming, and we're like Lara Croft. Like, we just start rattling off all the fucking girl characters that we know of in fucking games. Samus. Like, dude, there's so many. So we just start rattling them off. We're just laughing our asses off about it. And we just, that was it. That was all we ever thought about it. And then when that stopped, and I was doing video gaming for a while, and then I started, watching the news, and I was doing, drama stuff, and every once in a while I'd talk about, feminism and shit like that. And that was back when Anita Sarkeesian was like a thing, before she was discredited and just wrecked. When she actually meant something. And she started the entirety of everything. Everything bad in the world started with Anita fucking Sarkeesian, I'm telling you right now. Anyways, that's patient zero. So I used to shit on Anita all the time. Everybody did back then. And I was happy to do it too, because I didn't like her at all. And I reviewed quite a few Anita Sarkeesian videos. And that was Gamergate. The whole of Gamergate pretty much was that Zoe Quinn, I believe, this is Gamergate as I remember it. I'm not going to refresh myself on Gamergate. If I've forgotten more than most people know about it at this point, that just fucking makes sense. I've been dealing with this shit for a decade. So, yeah, as far as I remember it, Zoe Quinn was a game developer. And she would fuck journalists in the gaming journalism, and she would journalism all over, and they would give her good reviews on her games. Like, that was kind of the thing. So nobody took Zoe Quinn very seriously because she was just some slut that would fuck you for a review, and she got teased a lot for it, and there was a whole big thing about it. And so she decided to make a big deal about it and be like, well, just because I do that sort of thing doesn't mean that they can point it out and make fun of me about it. And so she got all upset, and it turned into this whole women are treated like shit in gaming, and then all these debacles happened. Blizzard fucking is just pawing all over all the women in their departments, or whatever the fuck. All these different companies had all these different problems, and all this crazy shit, and Me Too was going on somewhere along, and because like a lot of people are like, oh, it's Gamergate 2. No, it's not Gamergate 2. This is still Gamergate. Like, it's not Elsagate 3.0. No, it's still just Elsagate, man. Like, something has to happen and then fucking end before it gets a sequel. Elsagate is a 10-year long journey of horrors, and we're starting to see the effects of it. Like, it's a really bad, like, Joseph Mengele fucking psychological experiment on children, and it's like how many kids are gonna wind up fucked up if we just do this. Like, it's a crazy, ridiculous thing, but it has never ended. It's been going on the whole fucking time. There is no Elsagate 2.0, 3. It's all just Elsagate. It's all the same thing. And there is no Gamergate 2.0. It's all the same. It's still Gamergate. The shit has just evolved. It went underground for a little bit, and then it just evolved. It never stopped, though. What? Objectifying of women in video games. Talking about all these girls that are doing these, severely intense physical activities. And they're wearing all these skimpy clothes. Because God knows that when girls go to the gym and work out, they're all in like sweatshirts and fucking big baggy sweatpants. Oh, no, wait. They're half naked in skin tight clothes. Right? Like, oh, man, every time there's a fucking girl that does karate in a video game and she's wearing a bikini, that's just sexualizing. No, she's wearing a bikini because it's easier to move and she doesn't get as hot. What? The whole thing was stupid. Why does Mario have to save the princess? Because that bitch can't fight as good as Mario. Well, she fights in Super Mario Brothers 2. Yeah, and that was a fun gimmick that they immediately dropped. Like... like, dude, the whole thing was dumb. And then Anita made a video game, and nobody liked it because it's fucking Anita. And what did you think was going to happen? You piss everybody off, bitch, and then nobody's going to buy your game. Except to buy shit on YouTube. That's the only fucking reason. Or did she even release the fucking game? That's another question, because she always gets all this money for all these things, and then she doesn't do it. So, yeah, but, yeah, so now we've got Gamergate 2, where, like the whole, we've got to have fat girls in video games, and we've got to have just this ridiculous, unrealistic, nonsensical shit, and every girl has got to be buttoned up from her neck down to her fucking toes, and no more girls in heels, and no more titties, and no more butt shots, and no more fun. Right? That's what we all play video games for. When I play video games, right, I play a lot of video games where you create the character. And usually I create a girl. Because if I'm going to sit and invest, who even knows, 200-300 hours into a video game, if I'm going to be looking at a character's ass for hundreds of hours, I don't want it to be some dude's ass. I'd rather be a hot chick. Again, porn addict, so go figure. So I make girl, and I make them hot, right? Because if I was a girl, I would want to be hot. You want to know why? Because I've seen it throughout my life, and I've been a victim of it my entire life. Hot girls get shit just given to them, right? I've even benefited from it. Like, it was a funny thing. Back in the day, when I used to play EverQuest, if you made essentially just the high elf female basic randomizer character, people would just give you shit. I did it just to see what would happen. Because I made a whole bunch of like Smurfs. Because I had a character to do my enchanter stuff and stuff like that. Like I had a whole bunch of different characters that I built to be able to just do things for a main character. Because I played a druid. So I was a solo character. Pretty much exclusively. Every once in a while a group with people. I was in a guild. Liquid Metal. I love that guild. They were so awesome. And I got my fruity boots with them. Anyways, yeah, fuck it. That's an appropriate story for now. So, now I'll get lost. If I tell that story, I'll get lost. So I'll finish this story first, then I'll tell that story. So, I made my enchanter, and she was a high elf girl. And I just made basic high elf girl, because I don't give a fuck. It's a Smurf. So, right? I would just sit outside of Foulith, I think, unless I'm mixing up genres or whatever, but I think I'd sit outside whatever the high elf city was, and I would just sit outside of there and do enchanting stuff. Like, I would enchant things for people for money, and sometimes I would fuck with people. Like, I would drop a platinum on the ground, and then I would enchant myself into a piece of platinum, and then I'd pick up the platinum, and then I would just watch people come by and try and pick me up. That shit was hysterical. I would just fuck around all the time as my enchanter, and sometimes I would just, leave her there, and people would run up to me, like high-level people would run up to me and just give me stuff. This is like, okay. So, yeah, if people thought you were a girl in video games back in the day, just give you stuff. So, I would want to be a hot girl. I wouldn't want to be some fat chick. Who really wants to fantasize that there's some fat chick? Nobody wants to fantasize that there's some fat chick. Nobody. You want to fantasize that you're some fat chick. You want to know why you want to fantasize that you're some fat chick? Because you're a fat chick. Like, you want people to want to be you. Nobody wants to be you. Nobody's ever going to want to be you. 30 years from now, when you've had 2 knee replacements and one of your hips is starting to go, nobody's going to want to be you. Like, dude, nobody wants to be you. Right? Especially not in a high physical activity scenario. And this has become Gamergate 2.0. Is that now we're still just attacking the characters because it never fucking ended. And we have to... No character can be pretty. And every time a game comes out with a pretty character, like Gemma in fucking... in Wilds, man, Monster Hunter Wilds, Gemma. Oh, they all went fucking lunatic with Gemma. Gemma comes out with her titties and her fucking tight abs, and they're all like, but, it looks so unrealistic. She's just so objectified. She's just so overly sexualized. And I'm like, well, she is the blacksmith. That is a hot form of art. However, Gemma, I would highly recommend that you at least put on an apron while you're doing the fucking smithing. Like, what if some... Man, you got your abs and your titties all out like that. She should have a lot more scars on her character model than she does. But maybe she's just that good. I don't know. Maybe it's a sign of her skill as a blacksmith. She's so good that she just never gets any honor. Who knows? Anyways. But... Gemma comes out with big titties in her abs, and they're all like, but that's just... And it's like, that's what she's there for. And even girls are like, yeah, that's what she's there for. Because if I was going to be a character in this world, I make my characters look like Gemma. They're all fucking sexy and hot. Like, because why not? Do you seriously want to be a fat girl in your fantasy? No! Nobody does! And that's why Concord failed. And all these other fucking games are failing. And there's this new one coming out where it's just this sassy dumb girl, and she's fucking 5'2", looks like she's 85 pounds, and she's shaving her fucking head because, she's so tough. Like, the dialogue was such awful shit. Fucking Marathon looks like it's gonna be dog shit. Fucking Suicide Squad, dog shit. Everything was Sweet Baby Inc. Sweet Baby Inc. is the King Midas of the shit world of fucking gaming. Everything Sweet Baby Inc. touches is turned to shit. Whether it actually is shit or not. Like, there's a game, South of Midnight or something like that. Like, somebody somewhere in the credits is linked with Sweet Baby Inc. in some way, or Sweet Baby Inc. had something to do with it. And apparently it's actually a halfway decent game, but nobody's fucking playing it because nobody fucking wants to. It's Sweet Baby Inc. Like, dude, that was the new, another facet of fucking Gamergate 2.0, even though it never fucking ended, because Sweet Baby Inc. started right out of Gamergate 1. Like, Gamergate with Nidia and all that shit, and then immediately those dumb bitches started a fucking gaming consulting company. Because it never fucking ended. It's still a fucking Gamergate. So, just the new aspects of Gamergate. Like, it's just a fucking snowball tumbling downhill, just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and everybody's going, look, it's a new one. No, it's the same one. So, yeah, all this fucking shit, all this crazy fucking shit, all these games are coming out, and they're insulting as fuck to people. And all these games journalists are like, no, it's actually great. And everybody's like, no, it's actually not. Like, why are you encouraging this? Well, it's a 7, which is just the lowest thing we ever give things. So why don't you just call it a 1? If 7's the lowest thing you ever give things, well, what is a fucking 7? Well, that's an 8. You have a great fucking judging system. No wonder everything sucks. Because you're encouraging these people not to fucking be creative and do something new. And you're encouraging us to just be mindless fucking zombies. And people have finally said no. And what do I always say? It's when you get those guys that don't vote. You got 360 million people in this country. And like 200 and fucking... What is it? Like 270 million of them can vote or something like that, and we only ever get like 150 million people to vote. So like whenever that 120 whatever million people get activated, when 200 million people vote in this country, that's when you know shit's fucked up, right? When you start getting casuals pissed off, that's when you know shit's fucked up. For those of you in my audience that don't really do the whole gaming thing, when you just kind of come home from work and you go, oh, I'm just going to play a quick round of COD real quick and then I'm going to be good for the night and then just go to bed. And that's like what you do. You're casual. Like that's it. You're a fucking tourist. You just come in whenever you want to have fun, you piss everybody off, and then you go to bed. Which is fine. You know, whatever. It is what it is. But like there's people like me that I've got thousands of video games that I've played them all, and I just play them over and over and over again because I've just always played. Like right now, I'm playing Hades again. Got back to game. Well, first of all, got my thing. I've gone through Shadowrun. I beat Soul Blazer. I beat. I found out that I still can't fucking push myself to actually do Turtle Rock without taking a really long break in between, because the fucking monster turtle, the boss of Turtle Rock, just pisses me off. So I'm almost done with Final Fantasy or Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, and now I'm playing Secret of Mana. I was gonna play Ocarina of Time, but I don't know. I really, because like the Super Nintendo 64 is a very unique controller, because there's 3 sticks on it, and primarily you use the middle stick with the joystick and the Z button, and then everything else is worked, you know, over here. So, like, to do that on essentially a Game Boy with extra buttons, it's kind of rough. And the toggle on the right side is the C buttons, so that's going to take some getting used to. And also, whenever I go into the menu, like it almost locks up the game, and it takes forever for the menu to come up. And then when the menu comes up, when you look at the item screen, it's like all fucked up. So I don't think it works. I played some of Super Mario 64, and that seems to work just fine. Haven't had any problems with that. But yeah, Ocarina of Time look like it's a fucked up ROM. So, I don't know, I might get into the thing and see if I can swap out because I have a really good one. So I might see if I can swap it. See if I can swap them out. But anyways, so now I'm playing Secret of Mana. Just got into the Wind Temple, and then I leveled up. I like level ground up all of my magic up to rank 3. So I've been playing the shit out of this, and so I've just mostly been watching movies and YouTube and stuff on my Xbox, but now I'm playing Hades. Right? This is a gamer, right? This is how gamers talk. You're talking about this 5 or 6 different games that you've already played in the last month and a half. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a fucking gamer. I'm a hardcore gamer. And when you get to the point where you're just pissing off all of the gamers, you're really only pissing off a small subsect of society. But when you start pissing off casuals, you're pissing off every dad in America. You know what I mean? Like, that ain't good. That's going to fuck up your bottom line. So, like, people just stopped buying games. They were just like, no, it's going to suck. And so everybody started watching online YouTube reviewers. And so that became a whole thing, because now online YouTube reviewers are a problem. So don't listen to them. You got to listen to Kotaku, even though Kotaku's just telling you that everything's great because fuck it, we want our money. And so they're selling, people learn that the journalists are selling them out for money. We're just telling you to go buy this game because we want the money from the studio that pays us to tell you to go buy the game. Like, it's just this whole payola thing now. And people are pissed. And it has turned into, like, a political faction, almost. Like, it's some sort of weird hybrid transformer type of thing. Like, I don't know. Like, it's like, you know, the transformer where it's like Voltron, where you got 5 different robots and they link together into the much bigger fucking robot that's much nastier. Yeah, like, you got fucking hardcore gamers as the head and torso, right? And then you've got, like, the casuals or this arm, and because of this political shit now, you've got, like, the right-wing people over here, and then you've got just the shitlords down here, and, like, there's this whole freaky Frankenstein of different, and it's, like, a lot of different people now. Like, all the way through the spectrum, up to crazy fucking leftists. Like, once you hit that crazy leftist wall, everything stops as usual. And then it just goes into Psychoville from there on. It's like in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, when he goes from reality into the cartoon world. Yeah, it's just like that, right? You go through the tunnel, and fucking everything's loony after that. And fucking Bugs Bunny's singing to you and shit. And so, yeah, like, that's, right? Everybody is pissed off about all this because it's games, man. Like, when they fucked... I mean, when was the last time that the football players all walked out onto the field with names of criminals on their backs? When was the last time that happened? Hasn't happened in a long fucking time. When was the last time you had a good kneeling for the anthem fucking scandal? That shit's been a while. Yeah, because they did that, and it pissed off casuals. It pissed off everybody down the line. Because they all went, motherfucker, this is our entertainment. You can't do this to us. And so things got kind of hairy. And then they fucking stopped. Because they realized, oh, we should not be into politics. We do sports. Right? I throw balls hard. If you want a good word, if you want me to speak good words, date yourself a languager. Like, dude, no, they figured out, oh, we're the jocks. That's right, we do the jock thing. Yeah, we'll throw the balls. Yeah, we'll throw the balls and you pay us the money, and now everybody's happy with sports. Haven't heard of a sports controversy that was political in a very long fucking time. Well, except for the whole, China thing, but China's involved in everything. China's always a fucking problem. So, right? And the movies, they're starting to learn it. Right? Like, Snow White tanked big. Everything's fucking tanking. The only thing that's doing good is indie stuff, because the indie people are like, we're going to make something new and not do the same fucking thing that somebody else did. And everybody's like, oh yeah, I'd love to see that. And what's it about? Who cares? It's something new. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, right? And nobody fucking cares about the Oscars anymore. Nobody gives a fuck what you think about your politics. And just shut the fuck up and sit there and be pretty and be fucking actors and do what you do and don't piss me off. And they're starting to learn it. They're really dragging their feet. But they'll figure it out at some point. Bud Light learned it. They did their dumb shit, got fucking shit on, and then they went, oh, you know what? You're right. Look, we're gonna go to the UFC, and everybody in the UFC was like, fuck your brand, and they were like, shit. Then we'll just say that we're really sorry, and we'll look at the horses. You see the horses? Yeah, dude. And video games, they're starting to learn it because a lot of Western developers kind of got onto the whole, well, I guess if this is what you guys want, this is what we'll try to do. And they tried, and they made some very good games where they tried to be in the boundaries of what Western society would accept. They figured, like, again, this is a whole, you're not listening to Western society. You're listening to the people that are just screaming over all of us and telling you what to do. Don't listen to them. And after a point, they said, we're not going to listen to you anymore. So they started making their own shit. And now we've got Gemma. And we got fucking Marvel Rivals. With every time a new costume gets released, for a female character in Marvel Rivals, you just get closer to being like, how is there just not a nipple there? Like, I mean, it's obvious there should be a nipple. Where's the nipple? Like, there should just be a nipple there. It's so weird. Like, there's just more and more titties showing fucking all over the place. Like, I'm expecting to see little tufts of pussy hair on the top of some of these fucking costumes that are coming out for these characters. And it's selling like fucking crazy. They're making $1 million. Sorry, they're making $1 trillion over there in China fucking with all this shit, man. Like, we're funding our future fucking demise. Just so as you know. But nevertheless, it's a fun game, I guess. I mean, I never really got into Overwatch. I couldn't give a shit. Like, all of those competitive online games, I'm immediately disinterested. Because I don't want to play with you. Like, most likely, I don't want to play with you. If you in any way take the game seriously, I don't want to play with you. Like, if you're going to be pissed off because I picked the wrong character, I don't want to play with you. And I'm going to run into one of you somewhere in there. And when I do, I don't want to play with you. And I just don't even bother. I couldn't care less. I understand why they're fun. And I get that I get that it's fun. I get that it's very fun. And if I could have fun playing it, I would play it. But I can't because I don't like most of the people that play that game. And there's always one. And the first time somebody says, who the fuck, why is somebody fucking Jeff? I'm out. Because I like Jeff. Fuck you. He's a little land shark and I think that's cool. And I want to play him in a fucking video game. Because I would much rather be a tiny little dog shark hybrid than a fat bitch. I'm just going out on this, my hot take for the video. I'd rather be Jeff than a fat bitch. Sorry. And I'm struggling to try and recall one of the names of one of the fat bitches that have come out, and I can't. Because I never played any of those fucking games. Because they all look like shit, and I'm not going to play Marathon. You want to know why? Because it looks like shit. Also, it looks like a fucking gay-ass multiplayer competitive thing, where everybody's going to immediately get into it and be like, oh, there's going to be an E-League for this someday, and I got to fucking train, man. Like, no. No. I could care less about your fucking rank. Like, no. I'm here to play a video game. It's fun. This isn't my fucking job. Like, so whatever. Do your thing. But, yeah, anyways. So, but yeah. So that's Gamergate 2.0 and how it unified the Frankenmonster that has become like the gamer union. They're fucking with games and we're getting pissed. And we're about fucking done with it. So nobody's buying their shit games anymore. And they're just fucking tanking. And nobody's playing their shit games anymore. And they're just fucking tanking. And the journalists are getting pissed off and saying, why don't you want to play this game? It's so fun. And everybody's like, because we don't like you. And you told us to. So we don't want to. Because it looks dumb. And it's gotten into the realm of politics. Donald Trump pulled probably 100% of the gamer vote, I'm guessing. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, it's becoming almost a party. Like, I bet you some very charismatic fucker out there could start a gamer party, a political party, based off gamers and what, gamers want. We just want a society that's fucking normal. And we want hoverboards.